Well, hello there. Welcome back to the Pacific War channel, where we cover the entire history of the Asia-Pacific War from 1937 all the way up to 1945, all the major events led up to it. Today, we are not talking about history. We're going to be playing Axis and Allies, a board game, on the computer. And I'm going to be showing you how to play each faction. Those are Germany, Japan, Italy, the USSR, the United Kingdom, the good old US of A, and, if I find time, maybe even Little China. So, if that's of interest to you, stay tuned. If you want to just skip on past all the little tutorial bullshit, then go over to this time right now. I hope I edited that right. Without saying anything else, let's just jump into it.
Axis and Allies is a World War II board game a bit similar to Risk, albeit a bit more complex.
Check this out. Take a look at this! Jesus Christ, that right?
You can buy the physical game at any board shop, purchase the Steam version, or download the free AAA version.
It's free real estate.
I highly recommend AAA's version because, unlike the others, it's developed by fans who, to this very day, are creating custom maps. The maps range from any historical battle you can think of: the Punic Wars, Napoleonic Wars, World War I, World War II, Modern Warfare. Hell, there's even fantasy. Wait a minute.
You remind me of the babe with the power.
And of course there's sci-fi maps. I highly recommend the Battle of Arda Lord of the Rings map, something I play often with my friends.
Retarded wizard in the forest.
AAA's interface is Java-based, so pretty much any potato PC can handle it.
Hey guys, this is Craig from the Pacific War channel. Please don't forget to check out my YouTube membership or my Patreon account over at www.patreon.com/thepacificwarchannel, where you can join the ranks and gain access to a hell of a lot of goodies. At the base minimum, you get access to the exclusive monthly podcast, early access to all of my content, voting rights for what subjects I will tackle next, and at higher tiers, I have much more goodies to come. So please click that link and check it out.
So first things first, you need to get the game, which is free and found at aaa-game.org. Just hit that download button. Once it's booted up, there's one more thing to do. Head over to Download Maps. In the High Quality section, find yourself World War II, Version 3, 1941. The reason why I'm having you download this one is because it's a carbon copy of the most played board game version. It's also arguably the best map ever created, and happens to be the main one for tournaments. Now you can play online or local, and against people or AI. The AI is actually pretty solid. I like to play it ramped up to the max, but perhaps for you beginners, just start with easy. In all Axis and Allies maps, there are 2 or more factions. Obviously, since this is a World War II map, it's Axis versus Allies. For this specific map, there are 7 nations to choose from, thus there's 2 to 7 possible players or AI. Here is the big old beautiful map, and you can see there is Britain, Germany, Italy, the USSR, China, Japan, and the good old US of A. To win a game of Axis and Allies, one typically knocks out the opposing side by taking the capitals.
No. Wait.
One needs their capital to continue purchasing units, so if it can't be taken back by you or your allies, well, it's probably game over. It is optional, but there is another way to win, to claim a certain number of victory cities, depending on the game rules. It's pretty straightforward, but achieving either of these goals can be quite challenging. Like any board game, it's turn-based. For World War II version 3 1941, the turn is Germany, USSR, Japan, Britain, Italy, America, and finally,
China.
Each nation is allocated a certain amount of money per turn. The territories you see on this map have values. After you take one, that value is added to your cash. Each nation can use this cash to purchase units or tokens. When it's your nation's turn to play, the order is token purchase, unit purchase, combat, non-combat, and then finally, unit placement. The first thing a nation does each turn is purchase tokens. These tokens act as a dice that is rolled each turn until you get a hit. That number corresponds to a technological advancement. There are countless that increase units' abilities or other goodies. A common strategy is to always have at least one token in play. It's like a wild card, baby.
Wild card, bitches!
After you're done choosing to purchase a token or not, it's time to buy units. Each nation has the same units for purchase. In other maps, sometimes there are faction-specific units. All units have 3 attributes: attack, defense, and movement. For attack and defense, this is a dice value. For example, infantry attack with 1 or less, so you need to roll a 1 to attack. But they defend with 2 or less, so you need to roll a 1 or a 2 to defend. Movement number is the amount of territory a unit can move. Typically, it's 1. So let's take a look at the units. Starting off, we have anti-aircraft guns that are stationary, and they fire at any aircraft that attack the territory they sit upon. For every single aircraft that's attacking, you roll a 1 or less. Next, we have the tank. It attacks or defends with 3 or less, and can move 2 territories. Tanks also possess the ability to blitz. This means if an enemy controls a territory, but has no units on it, a tank can just take that territory, but move again to take another territory. Artillery has an attack of 2, a defense of 2, and moves 1, and also has the ability to increase infantry beside them for +1 attack. The battleship is the strongest unit in the game. Like all naval units, it must be out in the ocean. It has an attack of 4, a defense of 4, and a movement of 2, and it also happens to have 2 HP, meaning it has to be hit twice to fall in battle.
I didn't hear no bell.
Depending on the rules you are playing with, after the battle, the battleship can recover its HP. Battleships and cruisers also have the special ability to bombard land units if amphibiously assaulting. You can roll the dice once to see if you get a hit, and the land units cannot even retaliate. The bomber is an aerial unit that attacks with 4, defends with 1, and moves 6. All air units must land on a friendly territory at the end of their turn, and that territory cannot be conquered that same turn. The bomber also has a special ability to bomb industrial targets, inflicting damage in the form of money lost to that nation. The carrier attacks with 1, defends with 2, moves 2, and has the ability to carry 2 fighter aircraft. The cruiser attacks with 3, defends with 3, moves 2, and can bombard. The destroyer attacks with 2, defends with 2, moves 2, and has the ability to detect submarines. The factory is where your units are placed. The amount of units one can place depends on the value of the territory the factory is on. You can only have a certain amount of factories in each game. Typically in this game, it's 3 or less. The fighter attacks with 3, defends with 4, moves 4, and can land on aircraft carriers. The infantry attacks with 1, defends with 2, and moves 1. The submarine attacks with 2, defends with 1, moves 2, and is only detectable by destroyers. This means if a destroyer is not present, a submarine cannot be attacked. They just submerge.
You can try, but you'll never catch me.
Submarines can only target naval targets and have the special ability called First Strike. They roll first. If they get a hit, they take out the enemy unit, and that unit does not get to retaliate. Lastly, we have transports that don't attack or defend. They transport infantry, artillery, and tanks. Their capacity is 1 infantry with 1 artillery and 1 tank, or just 1 tank or 1 artillery. If transports are attacked, even with units on them, they simply die. Their purpose, as you can imagine, is to move troops onto land, and transports almost always require escorting naval forces to defend them. So once you purchase your units, they are left aside until the end of your turn when you place them. In the meantime, the first order of business is combat turn. Here you must strategize what territories to attack in an effort to draw closer to taking the enemy's capital. During combat turn, you can use movement as you please, but it is finite until the end of your turn. Next is non-combat, where you can use whatever movement you have left, but you cannot move onto enemy territory. Lastly, you place your units, and this ends your turn. The last aspect of this game is the objectives. These are optional requirements to gain bonuses in the form of more money per turn or to give you a technological advancement. Each nation has its own objectives, and they are completely optional, but they can help you win the game. Typically, the objectives are to secure specific territories, sometimes within specific rounds of time. A complete round is when every nation has completed a turn. Typically, if you're playing with friends, a game ends when someone just gives up.
Fucking quit! You can't fucking quit!
Most of the time, if one player, excluding perhaps Little China,
Is that like a personal attack or something?
is knocked out of the game, that team is pretty much done for.
Well, we're fucked.
If you decide to play with Victory City conditions, well, there's some strategies involved with that, but no one likes playing with that shit.
Stop it. Get some help.
I recommend playing against the AI to learn the game first. Start with easy, then fast, and then hard AI. The AI is pretty good at this game. The only thing the AI has trouble with is transport strategy.
Help me! Help me! Me! Psst,
Hey you ever hear me talk about some great Pacific War movie or documentary like Pearl Harbor minute by minute over on Netflix and feel the urge to watch it for yourself? Uh-oh, you live in Japan, and your Netflix doesn't have it? Must suck to be you.
Sucks to be me right now.
Oh wow, Season 4 of Demon Slayer is out. Oh wait, I can't watch it on Canadian Netflix, but it's over on Japan Netflix? Whatever will I do?
Oh, no.
Being blocked from regional content? With private internet access, you too can watch Demon Slayer Season 4 by switching your IP address to Japan.
Yes! Hell yeah!
Why stop with Japan? With private internet access, you can change your IP address to over 84 different countries and every single US state, giving you access to region-restricted content all over the world.
Nice.
Many websites and services like Netflix are only accessible depending on your physical location, but private internet access helps you overcome these restrictions. Think about it, without private internet access, it's like paying for a TV series and missing out on the latest season. Shots fired, Demon Slayer on Canadian Netflix.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Ever fear people are gonna find your Google searches?
Banzai! Banzai! Banzai!
FBI, open up!
Private internet access makes sure that those Google searches remain a buried secret, as private internet access encrypts your internet access and has a no logs policy. Think you're safe with the local coffee shop's free Wi-Fi? No, you are certainly not. Private internet access gives you more privacy features than any other software, and real-time protection from malware and trackers, giving you peace of mind knowing those Google searches remain seen by you and you alone. Private internet access has a no-log policy that they've defended in court, which means they are not storing any of your browsing data. Hey, are you like me using different devices under one household? Private internet access is available on all platforms and protects an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. I personally use private internet access to unblock movies and TV series from all across the globe, and I sleep easier writing scripts for my YouTube channel and others knowing my data is secure. Look, this is a no-brainer. Sign up with my link in the description of this video to get 83% off, plus 4 months for free, so it ends up being only around $2 per month. Signing up for private internet access is risk-free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and 24/7 customer support is available. So don't forget to click www.piavpn.com/The Pacific War Channel, and a big thanks to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. Welcome to the USSR, where your ultimate goal is to be an enormous speed bump for the Axis powers. Got tanks? Nope. Got planes? Nada. Got thousands of infantry to toss into a panzer meat grinder? 9 times out of 10, all 3 Axis players are going to focus in Zerg Moscow.
No. Wait.
It's the easiest way to provide an Axis victory in the form of a Soviet player tossing the board. Likewise, 9 times out of 10, the Allies will do the exact same thing against Berlin, with Italy being a secondary target of opportunity.
Spaghetti!
Basically, an Axis and Allies victory is either an angry Soviet or angry German tossing the board. Thus, it's your job to channel your inner Stalin and start sacrificing infantry for the motherland. But just remember, the USSR doesn't play to win, it plays to survive long enough for the other allies to save your damsel ass.
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress.
Your strategy 9 times out of 10 is to build infantry and juggle the Axis thrusts, usually directed at Karelia SSR, Caucasus, and then Moscow. The trick to this is to try and cluster your infantry to deal the maximum amount of harm when they attack. Typically, you build 2 clusters around Karelia SSR and Caucasus, and then lure the panzers into your infantry meat grinder. Don't be the asshole Soviet who buys an aircraft carrier.
Don't buy a boat!
For round 1, since Germany goes first, brace your butthole.
Hold on to your butts.
Not terrible rolls for you, could be much worse. Now this is up to preference, but I always like to have one technology dice in play as the USSR for the ever-coveted improved artillery advancement that allows 1 artillery to support 2 infantry. This is basically the holy grail for the USSR. I also like to max infantry and buy 1 artillery each turn to be economical, which is ironic, playing as communists.
It's on me.
Patrick, that's my money.
Have you learned nothing about sharing?
Don't forget to move all of your units in the east to build a wall up against Japan, and never leave Caucasus unprotected, for Little Italy can always amphibiously assault you.
Pesky!
We place our forces, and now let's see the end of the round. Good news! The United Kingdom took Norway, and is bolstering us with its air units, while Little Italy just got the shit kicked out of it trying to take Egypt.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Bad news, Japan royally ripped open our back door.
Secret finger jutsu!
But they're not doing so great against China. Now it's round 2, let's see what Germany does. Alright, Germany opened a thrust against Moscow and Caucasus. So we're gonna fill those gaps, while grabbing Finland and forming a new wall against the Japanese onslaught on our rear. Alright, gaps plugged, things don't look terrible yet, comrade.
Excellent work, Commander.
End of the round, we see an extremely aggressive Britain landing in France, and the Americans in North Africa. Italy is so pathetic from its round 1 disaster, it can't even help liberate France. It just reinforces Germany like a little lapdog.
Wait, what are you doing? Why are you still peeing?
It's round 3, let's see what Germany does. Well, it's the same situation for us, with a gap opening and Germany dislodging the Limeys from France. Same strategy as we plug the gap. But we take it a step further, and we take one more territory, pushing west, so Germany is further away from our goodies.
No, don't touch me there. This is my no squared.
And it's
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Let's look at the end of the round. Damn, both the Brits and the Americans are in France now. Unfortunately, Japan broke our meager wall in the east, but we can send some new units over there. Again, the Japanese are not doing too great against China, which is pretty embarrassing. Meanwhile, Little Italy again is too weak to seemingly do anything.
Oh, mamma mia!
It's round 4, let's see what Germany does. Alright, the Germans have divided their forces, which is amazing for us. Divide and conquer, baby. Our allies are doing a ton of work forcing the Germans to use resources to take back France. So we send our little tank east, and we get really bold against the Germans, driving even more distance between them and our goodies. Let's look at the end of the round. Well, the Japanese are slowly coming up our way. But goddamn, the Chinese are slapping them around, which is fucking wild. Usually Japan has conquered all of China by now and is jabbing into the USSR. Britain is back in France and honestly wrecking this game. Meanwhile, the Americans are landing forces in North Africa to hit France or possibly Italy. As a result, Italy is now stuck building troops to defend itself against a possible landing, so Germany's eastern flank is much thinner. It's round 5, let's see what Germany does. Well, Germany again has to waste resources dislodging the British from France, and can only make meager advances against us in the east. So our job is to plug the gaps and push forward wherever possible. Now at the end of the round, the Brits are yet again in France. Hell, some British tanks are even creeping up from Egypt to help us. The Japanese are clawing their way through our back door still, but are absolutely getting fucked up by the Chinese, and now the British are engaging them there. Meanwhile, the Americans are preparing what looks like a massive D-Day landing, probably against Little Italy. It's round 6. Let's see what Germany does. A pathetic attack upon our wall, while dislodging the Brits from France. Wow, we finally got a tech roll, and lo and behold, it's the coveted improved artillery advancement. Strategy remains the same, but now it's time for us to fully push west. We are now marching on Berlin, comrade. In the east, we have sent more forces to push back the Japanese as well. Now it's the end of the round. The Americans just took Little Italy. That is a mortal wound to the Axis. There is absolutely no way Germany can liberate its ally. Meanwhile, the British are seizing territory left, right, and center, and the fight for Asia is really kicking up. It's round 7, let's see what Germany does. Like a cornered animal, the fatherland is lashing out a little bit, but the inevitable is coming. We continue to march upon Berlin and push back the troublesome Japanese. End of the round, and wow, the British just tossed the goddamn kitchen sink at Berlin, and they nearly took it. thus opening the door wide open for us. And over in the Pacific, we see the British and Americans are building fleets to hit Japan. It's round 8. Germany can't do shit, but brace itself for me about to raw dog it.
Surprise! But six! No!
The motherland has taken Berlin. In any given game, that's GG. Someone is flipping the board by now.
Fucking quit! You can't fucking quit!
But if your friends are absolute masochists and don't want to quit, I can show you a speed run of the complete ordeal that is gangbanging Japan. Round 9, Allied fleets close in as everyone begins buying bombers to bukkake the shit out of Tokyo.
The first crash happened in Bukkake.
Round 10, Allies prepare for amphibious assaults while continuing to bomb Tokyo. And round 11, America takes out Japan. Now this was obviously an easy street game.
No exceptions!
All the Allies got good rolls, but in a typical game, Germany should have at least taken Karelia SSR or Caucasus, and then pressed a real attack on Moscow. Your best bet in these scenarios is to sacrifice Karelia SSR, if given the choice between that and Caucasus, keep your infantry clustered to hold the Germans back. Most games result in you clustering over Moscow and Caucasus, until the Germans force you to pull back everything to Moscow. And the entire time you just pray to, well, whomever communists pray to. That the Americans and the British perform a daring D-Day-like scenario. Now, of course, if you're desperate and your allies need you to perform some real action, perhaps one turn you can buy full tanks and spear into Germany to try and force the Germans to choose between hitting you back or facing an allied landing. But playing the USSR, always remember, comrade,
don't buy a boat.
Well, I really hope you liked this episode on how to play whatever faction I did in this episode of the video, because I edited this afterwards. If you really did like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and if you can, comment on this video, and maybe I'll make some more of these. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I know I did. So, until next time, this has been the Pacific War Channel, over and out.